There are 5.
For fall 2020 release and independent 2020 release. My name is Anshuman Vaidya. I'm your market simulation coordinator. Today is October 1st. Calls and webinars are recorded for stakeholder convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. The recordings will be publicly available on the ISO webpage for a limited time following the meetings. The recordings and any related transcriptions should not be reprinted without ISO's permission. We have a full agenda today. We'll talk about map stage availability. We'll revisit the known issues for ADS, talk about upcoming changes for query tool in ADS. We'll look over ADS replacement transition, cutover dry run in stage / parallel operations environment. We'll talk about some ADS replacement transition updates, cutover activities at a glance, and then we'll go to independent 2020 releases, structured scenarios, registration details, and we'll talk about the market simulation initiatives and timelines, and then we'll talk about the individual projects. Then we'll look at next steps. Map stage availability can be checked on portalmap.kaiso.com. Currently, we have CMRI, UI, and API closure on 2nd of October in map stage, and in stage, we'll have ADS, UI, and API 2-hour outage for on 2nd of October, and on 5th of October, we'll have a cutover dry run from 3 to 5 p.m. Customers are invited to participate in that one. Any questions on the availability of the map stage and stage environment? Make sure if you're speaking, then press *6 to unmute yourself or press spacebar. All right, moving on. These are the following known issues for ADS that have been fixed. And I have Firdaus online. Firdaus, could you tell us more about the variances that have been fixed?
Yeah, sure, Anshuman. These are the almost same list what we have communicated in our earlier call. Those were initially we planned to deploy on the 9/28, the September 28th, I think, and then we opened it up on 9/29. So basically now these are available for your validation in map stage environment. And all of this, I think one of the things I added here, the number 5, that one of our participants was reported it, so we were also able to fix that in the same build. For number 6, I still don't see much CD ticket on that, other than a couple of you what you have sent, and we have a plan in place to port over your profile from stage to production. And one update here, earlier we had the profile which was not saving your audio settings. So in the latest build, what we have currently in map stage, which is 1.2.8, this will also save your audio settings. So whoever already submitted your CD ticket for porting over your profile, if you are interested to include your audio settings, please update your profile and let us know your profile and user ID and from which environment you want to take it to the production so that we can manually port over for you. That's all from the known issues perspective. I have some further update. Anshuman, if you can please go to the next slide. Yeah, so this is one of the things we were planning for some time now, and finally we came up with this solution because several of you were asking about it, and we also see it if we can go that route, we'll be able to improve the performance. So basically, no change on the UI or anything, not significant change. Only thing is that you will be able to you have to query for the different groups separately for the batches. Like for instructions, you want to you will be able to retrieve the data separately, and trajectory separately, and the MSSLF load following instruction also separately. The way you are currently doing it in production. So basically, we are now going back to the way current tool is working in production. So we are kind of mimicking the same feature. One thing here to note is that as of now, you will be able to retrieve up to the 39 months of data. However, that when you retrieve for the instructions, you can retrieve the instructions details for a resource 30 days max at a time. But for trajectory and MSSLF, we will be restricting it to do 1 day at a time. So you can still go back for 39 months, but you will be receiving it 1 day at a time. And this is based on, we see the users pattern as well as the performance implication. So system will give you only the option to allow the start date, and based on your start date selection, system will automatically set up the end date and make the query and retrieve the data for you. So to give you some visual update, I think I have another slide. Anshuman, if you can please go to the next one. Yeah, so there actually I put it the 3 different window in one so that we can go it very quickly. As you see in the change, we are now including one more option for you to select the batch type. That now you want to query, before you are querying, you will be just selecting which batch you want, either instructions, trajectory, or MSSLF instruction. So on the bottom 2 slides, what I was showing that if you select either MSSLF, you see there is no end date. You will be only selecting the start date. And for the other one, if it's on the very bottom, that if you select the batch type is equal to trajectory, then also you have only the option to select the start date. Then you don't have to select the end date. System will automatically use the same date as an end date, so you will be able to retrieve 1 day data at a time. And the way no other changes on this layout, everything is expected. Everything the way you saw it in market simulation environment, it will be also still remain same. And we are expecting it to get into the map stage soon, if possible, maybe in another day or 2, so that you will have another chance to validate this before we go live. Anshuman, that's all. So I think we can take questions if there is any.
Well, thank you, Firdaus. This was very good update, and I'm sure these functionality will be very useful to the market participants. Any questions for Firdaus here?
Hey, Firdaus. This is Isaac from SE. A quick question.
Go ahead, Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi. Hello, Firdaus. Quick question. The profile that we're requesting to port over to production, is there a way that we can validate that somehow before we go live?
Validate means you will be validating in your source environment, right? Or are you saying you want to validate in the production?
Yeah, looking to somehow validate them in the production environment before we go live, if there's a way to do that.
Unfortunately, no, it won't be. But let me, if Rick, are you on the call? Or maybe we can get back to you if we can find some way for you to validate it before go live. But we will be able to port over before go live so that you can check it right away once we are open. But I do not think we have an option for you to check it even before go live. I can check with Rick on that and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Isaac. Any more questions? All right, moving on. So before we go to dry run, I would like to invite Gina to say a few words about the training guide for ADS. I believe she has it ready. Gina, are you on the call?
Hi, so this is Gina Wanzer. I just wanted to remind folks that the ADS user guide for the ADS replacement is posted in the release planning. It's currently in draft form, so there's still some work being done on it. However, I wanted to also seek feedback. Has anybody had a chance to glance through it, and if there was any feedback related to the user guide itself, and maybe what expectations for other stuff you might be looking for next week? And again, Anshuman mentioned if you'd like to speak, *6 on your phone or the space bar if you're in WebEx.
Okay. Well, if you still think about any feedback that you want to convey to us, please also email to marketsim@kaiso.com, and we'll take it forward to Gina to implement it.
Thanks, Anshuman.
Right. Thank you, Gina. Let's talk about the ADS replacement transition, cutover, dry run, in stage, and parallel operations environment. Trang, do you want to give an update on this one?
Yeah, thank you, Anshuman. So this is a new item that we're introducing and a new invitation that we're introducing today in the Market Sim call. As a reminder, in the last TUG on Tuesday, we did provide some more information on the production ADS replacement transition plan and kind of what to expect. And since then, we had updated the presentation with clarifications from the questions that we received on the TUG. It was a really good discussion, and I invite you to refer back to the updated TUG presentation for any additional information. But we've also carried that forward into this presentation as well as added more information here. So based on the feedback that we've received and the interest that we received on the plan, we felt that maybe would provide value to those customers that are interested in the production transition to walk through and experience the dry run of that production cutover in the stage and parallel operations with us as we practice those steps and execute that plan in the non-prod environment. So we plan on Monday, the 5th, after the Market Sim call, to execute the dry run. So what we'll do ahead of that time is kind of roll back the stage parallel operations ADS into the current production state that you have now pre-cutover, and then we'll follow that plan that we communicated to you in the stage environment and mimic the behavior that you'll see in production and have that kind of dress rehearsal. So for those that are planning to cut over, or even if you're not and you're planning to use the B6 and then the Delphi client, this is a good opportunity for you to see that behavior in the stage environment. So a couple nuances there is that for the Delphi client access to stage, we realize that some of you may not have that configuration in place, and if you are not planning to cut over to production to the new ADS and plan to remain on the Delphi client, when we do the cutover, then you can actually experience that backward compatibility in the stage environment, but you may need to set up your server's XML file in order to access the stage Delphi client. So we will be putting that on the dev site under ADS today. That'll be available for you if you want to participate and access the Delphi client in stage. And then in production, we'll also provide the bridge during the transition. So in stage, we'll do the same, again, just to enhance that dry run experience for you. And as far as, your participation or your intent to participate, you don't have to register. The stage environment is open for you, but if you want to participate, then you can call into the bridge that we'll provide on the calendar, as well as on the Market Sim call next week, and then just kind of go through that execution with us. So I'll pause here just for questions on this topic before we move on to other details about the ADS transition. Okay, Thank you, Anshuman. You can move on to the next slide. Okay. So just as a reminder here, our production deployment or the transition of ADS will be October 7th on Wednesday. So we plan to confirm that by the end of this week, and then give you an update by the end of this week, and definitely by the market sim call on Monday to confirm that production date. And then I think for this, we've already covered this in the TUG, and I wanted to kind of call your attention to an update since the last market sim call was just the additional detail we added about ISO operators and how we will be managing some of the new features that will be inactive in production on October 7th. Basically, we'll be following existing procedures, but we did call out some more detail here. Okay. And it looks like we may also disable the flex ramp up, flex ramp down, and FMM interties for initial go live, and we'll provide more details on that before the cutover too. Thanks, Rodos, for that. Okay, so I'm going to move, we can move forward, Anshuman, through the rest of the transition slides and then pause at the end for other questions. So as part of the TUG clarification questions, we did kind of highlight here what we expect on October 7th to be available when we go live with the ADS replacement and what will be disabled. So what you see here are an outline of what we plan to have available from the 7th in the new ADS product, and then the features that will be disabled. So we provided additional information about the new schema or columns, and then and those will have data populated in them in the new tool upon the go live. And then the features that we had been communicating would be inactive are repeated here just for the comparison. Okay. All right. No updates to this. This is just good reference. So we can move on to the next slide. Okay. So we do have a lot more detail on here that we're showing for the first time. So we've had a lot of great discussion that was, that continued from the TUG questions and feedback that we got. So what you see under market, this is specifically what we built out there. So there's a couple of items I wanted to call your attention to. One was on the overall window between 9 and 11. We are planning that minimal downtime of 10 minutes. We are targeting and planning that between the 10:15 and 10:40 a.m. window to avoid the hourly ramp. So you have a more specific time frame to be focused on for the ADS interruption, and we wanted to call that out here, as well as expand on the market expectations. We talked about, and I think we updated in the TUG presentation that we would be using the market disconnect feature, but we've augmented that to demonstrate and communicate here that we will be using a combination of the send previous solution market feature for the initial part of the transition, and then we will use the disconnect feature to allow better successful connectivity or better validation of the connectivity, and then we will disable the market disconnect feature once we have it all clear that everybody's results look good. So this information we're presenting for the first time for that market expectation, and we plan on practicing that through the dry run as well in the stage environment on Monday between 3 and 5 Pacific time. So that information is new and there, and we hope you can take a look at that and provide any additional feedback or questions that you have. And I think that should be the last slide for ADS. Anshuman, can you confirm by going to the next slide? Okay, and this is just a high-level overview where we presented in the TUG, and the only clarification here was, the smaller window, 10:15 to 10:40, is when that 10-minute interruption in ADS would be. Okay, so I'll stop here. That's a lot of information. The IPs are here for reference still, but I'll stop here and see if there's any other questions or clarifications even from our internal team as well as from our customers. I'm having trouble hearing you. I heard SCE. Is that Carlos?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Carlos. Go ahead.
Yeah, so question. So I understand that the October 7 deadline is the current target date, but worst case scenario, if we don't get the approval that we are waiting for the deployment, what would be the next target date?
I'll let Jamie take this one. Jamie, if you don't mind.
Oh, sorry, I just had someone messaging me offline. Can you repeat your question, Carlos? My apologies.
Hi, yeah, no, it's okay. Just wondering about, since the approval is still pending for the October 7 deployment, I'm just wondering if the worst case scenario, the approval doesn't come, what will be the next target date for this deployment?
That's a good question. I think it depends. You know, as we moved through this week, we realized we would have had to have moved the date anyway because of the heat and the flex alert and the restricted maintenance that we have. So assuming that things cool down next week as intended and, you know, when we get the approval, we would set the date. So I guess I would look for feedback here. I believe we're on target to go for the 7th. That said, we're exercising our cutover plan until everything is cleaned. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to offer that opportunity on Monday. So if the Monday walkthrough with all the participants, if we don't get the level of participation, if it doesn't go well, I may ask for another date just based on that, except that will come after the QRB. So I guess I'll be looking for feedback. We're intending the 7th. If one day notice to move it doesn't work for you, I need to know that. But we're planning to go in as soon as possible, the 7th, if we can.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Are there any more questions?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, hi. Is this only about ADS, or can we talk about master file?
You mean the independent releases? We'll discuss that after any questions for ADS are done.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking, and is there something else?
Well, I wanted to find out if anyone encountered this issue that when the master file with the new V5 and Gen RGT V14 went live on September 22nd, right? So if the older version still no one encountered the issue, the older version actually stopped, or the version of FPI stopped actually working. I don't hear what? I totally don't hear. Very far away.
I'm not hearing Kaisho anymore either.
Yes, this is Anshuman here. I'm not sure. I think there is somebody's mute is not on. That is causing the background noise. I'm sorry for that. Do you have an answer for this question?
Oh, hi. So for master file, you're referring to V4, is that right, Nora, in production? Or
yeah, V4 in production,
okay.
it's failing. It doesn't data.
Is this the IRDT or the GRDT?
Gen RGT.
Okay. I am not aware of anybody reporting an issue with V4 not working, but I recommend that if you could submit a production city for that, and then you can also feel free to forward that along to me too, and then I can help make sure that we address that.
Okay.
But yes, we're not aware of a known issue in production for V4 since the implementation.
Okay, thank you. I just discovered it, so we opening ticket with our vendor first, and we'll let you know. I will open ticket. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nora, for your question. I just want to take a couple of minutes to see if anybody else has any other questions regarding the ADS replacement.
This is Emmy. Hello, this is Emmy Sunset with Midway Sunset. And we are planning to do a final cutover to the ADS replacement, not on the 7th, but waiting a few days. The ADS-WS connectivity is not working for us. I just want to make sure that our ADS will continue to work past cutover.
Yes, that is the plan. The hard cutover for ADS is in 1st of February.
So even though we cannot connect to ADS-WS, we are okay to stay on the Delphi client?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem. Any more questions?
Hey, this is Stanley with PCI. We had a question from a couple of our clients on the IP addresses. We just want to confirm the existing IPs are going to continue to be used, and then the new IPs are just additional. Is that correct?
Firdaus, do you know the answer to this? Firdaus, if you're talking, you're probably on mute.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Anshuman, yes. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, so for going forward, yes, you need the new IP address. After going live, you will require to use the new IP addresses. So basically, if you just whitelist, then new IP address, the system will automatically redirect to from the new ones.
Gotcha. Okay, so on the 7th or whenever the cutover happens, the new IPs are the ones that will be in effect for any API communications and UI?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just want to re-verify that we don't need to do anything to our existing ADS system, and it will continue to work as is past the 7th.
Except those in IP addresses, it has to be whitelisted.
But we have whitelisted those, and we still can't get to adsws.prod.kaiso.com.
So, not for fraud. I think there will be separate communication. You can verify on that, but you would be able to verify those currently in stage and map stage.
We got an email this morning asking us to verify connectivity to ADS-WS.
Hey.
.prod.kaiso.com.
Hey, this is Prince Philip here. Yes, we have started opening up that URL in production so that you can test for connectivity. Can you please go ahead and then submit a city ticket so that we can have one of our system integrators work with you and ensure that you can connect in production correctly?
Okay, I called and a city was supposed to have been open for me already, but I haven't gotten a number back yet. But I will open another one if I don't hear soon. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for the questions. If everybody is okay for moving forward, I can go to the next slide. All right, moving forward. Independent 2020.
Sorry, I do have a question, actually. Sorry. Asking for one of our SMEs. One of the questions are, when do you plan to roll over or roll back the ADS stage environment for cutover exercise?
It's on Monday. We will roll it back, and the plan is to do it at 3 p.m. Is that correct, Trang? To the cutover at 3 p.m.?
We plan to start the cutover dry run at 3, so the rollback would be sometime earlier than 3 o'clock on Monday. And I also have been communicating with Chunyu as well. So, Ray, for the specific time that you need, it sounds like we can communicate that out to Kurt. And We can also put a note on the map stage portal, even though this is sort of the stage environment, to kind of announce when that would be. Is there any specific concern about the timing of that? Did you have specific testing that was happening on Monday, that would be impacted by that rollback?
No, I think we're just trying to lock it down, that's all. But okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, thank you. Are there any more questions for ADS? All right, moving on to independent 2020 releases. We have extended the date of registration for independent 2020 releases to October 9th. I have received a few requests, and I will reply back on those emails as soon as I register them. That's the update on the registration. You can always send the registration to marketsim@kaiser.com mailbox. These are the independent 2020 projects and their timelines. We have added a few dates and the dates for the execution of the structured simulation scenarios. That will happen. The first one that is upcoming is the FRP Improvements Buffer and Min. We plan to do the structured scenarios for that project on 13th of October. And then we have two more dates for nodal pricing model that we're going to perform structured scenarios on October 27th, and for Intertie deviation settlement on October 21st. Any questions on these timelines? Okay, moving on. Aliso Canyon Phase 5. We're going to test this project between October 13th to October 28th, and the business requirement specifications are available at the following link. For FRP Improvements Buffer and Min, the project will be tested between October 13th to October 28th. The structured scenario documents are available at this particular location. I believe I have my SME for this project, YT. She's on the call, and I would like to invite her to say a few words about this particular project and what we're expecting for this.
Hi, thanks, Anshuman. So FRP Buffer in the main, this is a policy we did this year to protect FRP in the buffer and also enforcement requirement when the requirement is more than 60% when comparing with the EIM area requirement. And I think probably for most EIM entities, this is not relevant for the EIM area requirement item because when we go to production, it will be 60%, so it will never kick in for other EIM entities. It will be mostly just for ISO entities, so this will be enforced. And I think we have just two scenarios, buffer and the main. One set for ISO entity and one set for EIM entities. So, of course, you're welcome. EIM is welcome to, if you want to participate in the main requirement scenario, just to check out how it works. We just have to manipulate data a little bit. I think that's all I have for this one, unless someone has specific question about the function or the setup you need to do.
Thank you, YT, for the update. I'm also waiting. If anybody has any questions or concerns for YT, then please go ahead and ask now. All right. You could always send the questions to marketsim@kaiser.com, and we will forward it to YT to answer them. Thank you, YT. We will move on to the next project now. Energy Imbalance Market, EIM Enhancements 2020. The timeline to test this project is between October 19 to October 30. and BRP and BSAP currently available in map stage for this. And the unstructured scenario document is available at the following location. Hybrid resources phase 1. This project can be tested between October 26th to November 13th. The business requirement specification for this project is available at the following location. Commitment cost and default energy bid enhancements. We are still testing this project. It can be tested from July 27 to November 24th, and the training document is available at the following location. Nodal pricing model, we're going to perform structured scenarios for this project on October 27th. The structured scenario document is available at the following location. Intertie deviation settlement. The timeline to execute this project is between October 20 to November 20. The structured scenario documents are available at the following location. And as it was shown earlier in the initiative's timeline, we intend to perform the structured scenario for this project on 21st of October. Symmetrical wheeling. There are no structured scenarios. The timeline to test this project is between October 20 to November 20. Settlements Q4 winter release. First draft technical documentation was posted on 8/10 and posted IDS and day-ahead nodal pricing project. First draft for configuration output file plus initial release component summary was posted on 8/25. This included project scope for IDS, day-ahead nodal and symmetrical wheeling. Also, first draft for tech doc for symmetrical wheeling was also included. Second draft that was posted was a configuration output file plus second draft for tech docs and updated release component summary posted on 9/14. It included 2 dispute-related production adjustments, the RTM net amount PC for RMR capacity payment, spin, non-spin, no-pay quantity PC for the fast start units. Third draft of configuration output file was posted on 2nd of October. Map stage deployment is scheduled on 6th of October, and connectivity testing for PAC is between 13th of October to 21st of October. And as you mentioned earlier, we'll do structured scenario 27th of October to 4th of November. The winter 2020 settlements release draft technical documentation is available at the following location. Any questions on this? All right, moving on. This is all I had. We'll have next meeting on 5th of October at 2 p.m. I will open up this forum for any questions or concerns regarding the whole fall 2020 release or independent release, anything or any CD tickets that we can help you with.
Hi, this is Trey again. I just wanted to get a confirmation from the user that reported an error with the ADS production connectivity test. Is that user still on? I just wanted to confirm.
Yes, I'm still on.
Okay.
And just submitted a city. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Do you have the city number? I just wanted to make sure that we captured that.
Yes. Hold on a second.
Okay.
229568.
Okay. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
What's your name again, user? Sorry.
Emmy Stenstedt.
Emmy, thank you, Emmy. I just wanted to make sure because I did see
SD
and it wasn't that one. So okay, we'll have the team connect with you. Thank you.
I may have 2 cities out, but I don't know what the other number is because the service desk opened it.
Yeah, no problem. We'll make sure that we reach out to you right away on that. Okay, thank you.
Super. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Please Please press *6 or spacebar to unmute if you're having issues with unmuting. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining this call. We'll see you back again in 3 days.